NBA's #1 entertainer and #1 in all-star voting. He is Chicago's Air Jordan. This year, he's trying to share some of the offensive burden. With more production from the pivot, the Bulls have added to their one-man show, and the high-flying Jordan sees no limits. Isaiah Thomas will start in next week's All-Star game for the 7th time. He's Detroit's team leader and their main cog, but he is surrounded with a talented bunch of skilled performers. Today, the Pistons continue their drive towards the top of the rugged Central Division. Games between division rivals have added meaning in the NBA. They're played with playoff intensity, and they usually leave battle scars behind. And the Detroit Pistons have sold out every game thus far in the brand new Palace of Auburn Hills, Michigan, as we have a big Central Division battle today. Why big? Because of the top 11 teams in the NBA, 5 of them come from this division. And this afternoon is the Detroit Pistons against the Chicago Bulls. And good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton. Lately, it seems that the Detroit Pistons have unlocked the magic formula to make the great Michael Jordan a mere mortal. He has struggled lately, and this may be a game in which he faces a personal challenge to get untracked against the defending Eastern Conference champions. And Hubie Brown, I think that the challenge is not only on the shoulders of Jordan, but on the Bulls as well.
Well, in spite of the unique way that Detroit plays him defensively, he'll get his 20 to 24 shots. The emphasis will go to the inside people and then Craig Hodges in the three-point game.
Now, the Detroit Pistons don't have to worry about one man, even though they have Thomas taking over. They have good balance this year.
Well, 5 guys in double figures. They're anchored with a very feisty defense. And then we expect a real good half-court execution from both teams. And then you underline it with, they really do not like one another.
That was evident the other night in Chicago when Cartwright and Thomas went at it. Lot to sit forward for. It's the NBA on CBS coming right up.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Basketball Association is sponsored by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA. The American Express card. Membership has its privileges. And by Miller Lite, sole sponsor of the NBA All-Star voting program. Miller Brewing is the exclusive beer sponsor of today's telecast.
21,000 plus at the Palace, and here are the starting lineups. For Chicago, Grant, Pippen, Cartwright, Jordan, and Vincent, their starting 5. For the Pistons, Dantley, Sally, Laimbeer, Vinnie Johnson. For Joe Dumars, who should be getting back soon, and Isaiah Thomas. Earl Strom, Lee Jones, and Joe Borgia, who's the son of the great Sid Borgia, longtime NBA referee in the 50s. We're underway. Chicago in red, Pistons in white, controlled by the Bulls.
Well, early in the ball game, Jordan will usually pass off and try to set up the other players to try to get everyone incorporated.
Grant. Rebound by Vinnie Johnson, and here's Thomas. The heart of the team, and once again the leading scorer.
Oh, they always try to get Adrian Dantley or Isaiah to go off the dribble early. Try to break down the coverage.
Inside, Vinnie Johnson. Vinnie Johnson has made the most of his starting opportunity for Joe Dumars in the 11 games he's been in there. Pippen off a screen, and the Pistons clogged that up.
Detroit, one of the quickest rotating teams that we have defensively. You'll see them double team and get back to the people quickly.
Cartwright, 3 on the shot clock, and hit on the arm by Bill Laimbeer. Laimbeer did a good job moving Cartwright a little farther out. What are we looking for from Chicago on the half court?
Well, what they must get off and going is Cartwright to establish a low post game. With the double and triple teaming, that will open up the perimeter game. Then you add the ingredient of Jordan. You must double team him no matter where he is.
Foul was on Laimbeer, and Bill Cartwright, who really has not gotten to the free throw line as much as he should. In fact, he has averaged just 4 trips to the line in the last 9 games, and that's well under what he should do.
Well, we always say about players who are heavy in the foul shooting, but you need the catches in order to get the opportunities.
Steal by Scottie Pippen on the turnover. Wide open in the corner is Sam Vincent.
Over the past 2 seasons, both of these teams are extremely tough in the half-court defense, and they are difficult to shoot a high field goal percentage against.
Laimbeer. Johnson tried to keep it alive, and it's Chicago's ball. The Bulls are 25-18. They would be second in the Atlantic Division, third in the Midwest, and fourth in the Pacific, but they find themselves in the number 5 slot in the very tough Central Division.
Well, this division is the old black and blue from the days of Midwest football.
And it really is that. Laimbeer picking up Jordan on a switch. Now Johnson gets back with him. 4 on the clock. Grant has a shot blocked by Laimbeer, who follows it up. And Horace Grant, in his second year, who's been very big off the boards lately for Chicago.
Well, Chicago has been able to hurt Detroit by getting an awful lot of offensive rebounds in every game. The major problem is converting the shot.
Sally, who's not been a strength offensively, is fouled going in. He wants to get that part of his game up a notch. Defensively, he's all over the place.
Well, he makes many good things happen because he's so active on the offensive boards. Between he and Rodman, they have 2 of the best young players in the league. But he has trouble getting down in there because he doesn't seem to have 1 or 2 pet moves and how to play the bank shot, the glass shot.
For a guy who's nicknamed the Spider, he should have enough arms to have a few pet moves by now. Foul was on Horace Grant and John Sally on the line. You know, we'll get into the trade rumors lately involving Adrian Dantley of the Pistons and Mark Aguirre of Dallas, but John Sally's name has also popped up lately, and I don't think he's been pleased with that either.
No, he's not. He's a very happy-go-lucky fella. He keeps the team loose. No one likes to see that they're going to be traded. But why? Because he's very talented. He's 7 foot. He's a shot blocker, a rebounder, and can run the floor.
6-3 Chicago. Sally made 1 out of 2. Jordan with a line drive shot is good. Michael Jordan leading the NBA in scoring, averaging over 34.5. Pistons have dominated the Chicago Bulls lately, including 3-0 this year. Dantley goes to the hoop. Pippen knocked it away, and it's still Detroit ball. Well, at least Dantley is going more to the hoop lately.
Well, Dantley plays with great confidence versus Chicago. He's been able to score big numbers because he can beat his man off the dribble.
Beat his man inside, but just couldn't convert the wide open layup. So Chicago has it. 9:25 to go in the first, and an offensive foul called against the Bulls. Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, in this league, it takes an awful lot of courage to stand in front and take a charge because Scottie Pippen was flying. You're talking about a guy 6'9", 6'8", about 220 pounds.
Michael Jordan is bleeding as he goes to the bench right now, and Craig Hodges replaces him. He was hit in the face. Vinnie Johnson gets his own rebound and knocks it away. Saved by Vincent, who stepped on the line. So it'll be Detroit ball. But they're checking right now. Mark Feil, the Chicago trainer, is over there now. Looks like maybe the bridge of Michael Jordan's nose. There's a timeout with 9:07, a 20-second timeout, as they tend to Michael Jordan. Chuck Daly's Pistons have done an outstanding job against Michael Jordan, and somehow they've been the one team to hold him under 50% shooting this season.
Well, you look at 36 for Michael. Michael is one of the top 10 field goal percentage players in this league, shooting 54 against everyone in leading the league in scoring. Now, he has taken some shot here in the nose. We didn't see it because we were concerned about the charge situation with Pippen going into Laimbeer. They do an excellent job of double teaming him and forcing him into areas that get him a little flustered.
But he's not in there now. Craig Hodges, and a steal by Scottie Pippen. Here's Hodges. Defense by Vinnie Johnson, and Craig Hodges scores. And it's now a 10-3 game, so the Bulls have come out strong here.
They've been looking to push the ball. Doug Collins, he said that's his biggest problem. They don't get enough easy baskets out in the open floor.
Laimbeer misses. Grant the rebound. Laimbeer not quite as effective as a shooter because they're playing him a lot tougher. They're not giving him that open shot like they did in the past. Hodges, a three-point threat, misses from the corner. Pistons running. They have a 3-on-2. Thomas finds Dantley. Good hustle by A.D.
That was a beautiful pass by Isaiah. He led Adrian. Adrian just got a little bump that time, and he couldn't make the quick catch.
Pistons have won 3 in a row, 7 of their last 9. They rely on defense, one of the top defensive teams in the league.
Both teams are very pattern types of ball club. Nice pass.
Hodges found Grant with a score. 7-point Chicago lead. John Sally misses the outside shot. Pippen very active on both ends thus far.
Well, they'll give Sally that one all day long. They know that he's not going to hit that on a regular basis.
Setting it up, Cartwright being moved out by Laimbeer. You see at the top of your picture. Short, good defense by Laimbeer. And Thomas tipped it over to Dantley. That's Pistons defense for you. Not pretty, but it gets the job done as Thomas comes in the lane.
The Isaiah plays with great confidence versus Chicago because neither of their point guards can stop him off the dribble in any form of penetration.
Vinnie Johnson may be too strong for the Chicago guards, too. Cartwright is getting chances to shoot. It's just that he's being defensed well by Laimbeer.
See, what I don't like about his game so far today is every shot's a fall-away jump shot.
Laimbeer tips in. Vinnie Johnson's miss. And the Pistons come back to it in 3.
See, if you're watching the Detroit defense now, they're laying off the perimeter people and playing them for the drive. They're forcing a perimeter type of shooting game.
Vincent drives in and scores. He was a #1 pick for the Boston Celtics and played his college ball right around here near Michigan State, or at Michigan State.
Chuck Daly is going wild over on the sideline there. Pippen is manhandling Dantley, and he wants the call.
And Thomas fouls Vincent. So Isaiah Thomas picks up his first foul. So Michael Jordan remains on the bench. We'll take a timeout. The Bulls lead the Pistons despite the fact that Michael Jordan went out early with an update on his injury. Here's Pat O'Brien. Pat?
All right, Dick, thank you. What happened was he got hit right on the bridge of his nose. Very, very hard. For a while, they thought it was broken, but it is not. It was bleeding for a while. It has stopped bleeding. He has told Doug Collins, I heard him say, I'm ready to go back in. So we'll see. Back to you, Dick.
All right, Pat. Here's Adrian Dantley. And by the way, that's where Michael Jordan got hit, we understand. And Jordan has revealed to Pat O'Brien, by the way, that he will not participate in next Saturday's All-Star Slam Dunk Contest. And Pat will have more on that at the hand.
Well, when you think of Michael Jordan, you're thinking about a guy who very seldom leaves the court. He's leading the league in minutes played, 41 minutes a game. Last year, he led the league with 40 minutes a game. So, you know, they can talk all they want that it's not a one-man team, but we know that the emphasis of all of their offensive plays is towards his position.
Michael Williams, the rookie from Baylor, has come in the game, replacing Vinnie Johnson for Detroit. Pippen working against Dantley. Good rotation again. Vincent hits the shot, but he had a man in his face.
Well, Detroit, they've only been beaten once off the dribble, and that was by Vincent going to the hole earlier about 2 minutes ago. They're extremely tough.
Off a screen, Isaiah Thomas finds the pick and roll. Laimbeer baseline. Beautifully executed play.
That was a classic. Came off at 2 dribbles, opened up a nice passing lane.
Bulls with 3 new starters in the lineup, all in the front court this season. Pippen, who scores there, along with Grant and Cartwright, acquired from the Knicks in the Oakley trade.
All right, open it up now.
7-point Chicago lead.
Pick and roll.
Thomas. Vincent the rebound. Detroit gets back on defense.
I like what I see early tonight from Chicago. They're really pushing and looking for the transition shot.
Cartwright posting up. Good position now. Better for Cartwright than before. And they'll call the foul on Laimbeer. It'll be his second personal.
There we have a nice pick and roll. Watch the left side of your screen. Isaiah takes it 2 bounces, coming right back to the roll man, stepping up. Beautiful execution that time.
Laimbeer with 2 fouls goes out along with Sally, and there's an exciting Dennis Rodman. He's really making his mark. James Edwards also comes in as Hodges hits from outside. The Bulls are starting to hit the perimeter shot.
Well, Doug Collins told us yesterday that Hodges, when he came to the ball club, had difficulty coming off down screens. That was a perfect example of him improving, making the catch and shooting all in one motion.
Williams looking inside for Dantley. Pippen is fronting him, though. Edwards strong to the basket. James Edwards, his acquisition last year was a big part of the Pistons getting to the NBA Finals and giving the Lakers all they could handle.
Well, anytime you pick up a guy who's played 11 years in the league and averaged double figures and shoots a high percentage, he's a major plus.
Cartwright beats Edwards to the hoop. So Laimbeer on the bench with 2 personals for the Pistons, and Sally also getting a breather.
See, if Cartwright will just make his catches and take the ball to the basket today, he'll wear down Laimbeer and Edwards.
Pippen and Dantley squaring off inside. And Isaiah Thomas with his second basket. 22-15, Chicago leading. We have 4 minutes remaining in the first period. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown along with Pat O'Brien here in the Palace, and Cartwright took that extra step and traveled.
We'll see Adrian Dantley trying to post up in here. Now watch how hard that they're working down inside to deny the pass into Dantley. We'll see that on both sides of the court, either with Pippen or with Grant.
Thomas tried to get the pass to Edwards. He did, and then Vincent with another steal. He's been a scrappy defensive guard thus far. Grant couldn't save the ball, and he turns it over. Well, Michael Jordan is checking back in the game. He came out at the 9:23 mark when he was hit on the bridge of his nose, so he was out nearly 6 minutes. Comes back in with his team leading by 7.
I think Doug Collins has to be extremely happy with the production of Vincent today. Really pushed the ball and made things happen in the open floor.
Michael Williams. Nice shot by Williams, who was the 48th pick, taken on the second round, and with Dumars out, has had to assume the role of third guard for the Detroit Pistons.
Up until today, he's been playing sporadic basketball. He must establish an outside game.
Williams fouls Jordan, trying to chase him from behind. And the foul on Williams. That's the 4th team foul as veteran Dave Corzine comes in. He's back in the picture. He lost some weight. He was in the doghouse for a while, but he's produced lately.
He's lost 15 pounds in the last 3 ball games. He's given him major production, and we will see Corzine and Cartwright together today.
Hodges is fouled by Thomas. Cartwright gets a breather for the first time, and Isaiah picks up his second personal foul. Cartwright to the bench has scored 4. Penalty situation. The Pistons are in the penalty, and Vinnie Johnson checks back in for Detroit, and Brad Sellers, the 7-footer, who has a nice touch from outside, replaces Scottie Pippen.
Hodges is one of the best 3-point shooters ever since the shot came into the NBA. He had an outstanding career, was either 1, 2, or 3 in it for a number of years as a player for the Milwaukee Bucks. But I like what he's doing today. He is really coming off the picks really quick. Chuck Daly is all over Earl Strom on the side. Earl is telling him that he must stay within the area of his bench. Chuck and Earl have had a few words over the years.
Just wanted some more camera time, maybe. Charles.
Chuck is quite upset about the overplay and the physical contact being used on all of his post players.
It's interesting coming from Chuck, considering the Detroit Pistons reputation, isn't it? We haven't seen Rick Mahorn, who should see some action even though his back still bothers him.
They're trying to post Dantley down inside.
I don't know why I mentioned Mahorn there. And Sellers fouled Dantley, who was posting up. That's only the 2nd team foul against Chicago. And a timeout. 2:52 remaining in the first period. It's been all Chicago.
It's his first team section.
It is played on a course known as one of the greatest tests of golf, the Nissan Los Angeles Open, continuing today on CBS Sports.
Rain has played havoc with the Nissan Los Angeles Open, but after 3 rounds, Sandy Lyle, who must love that weather from Scotland, has a 2-stroke lead over Mark Calcavecchia. But the weather is outstanding, and we expect an exciting final round coming up in the Nissan Los Angeles Open later on CBS Sports.
All right, here we have Adrian Dantley has just set a pick for Vinnie Johnson, who has moved outside. Now, different from the game on Tuesday night, they played behind Adrian Dantley. But we watch here now as Sellers will come in front, and then they'll overplay him. Sellers is 7 foot. Adrian Dantley is only 6'5", making a difficult pass into the box area.
7-footer guarding Dantley, who maybe is 6'5" or less. But Dantley knows how to operate inside. Always has.
See, this is Adrian has to work very hard. He's got to do all of his moves right now, Dick, because of the size of Sellers.
Lost the ball. So Sellers' 7-foot frame proved advantageous. Jordan feeds Grant.
Grant just did a cardinal sin of basketball, Dick. He caught a pass on the baseline. He didn't square his shoulders up to the baseline. That way the defensive player would have been behind him and he could have had a dunk.
Bulls are going to retain possession. They've got Jordan and Hodges in the backcourt, and up front they have Grant, Sellers, and Corzine.
Here's a clear out. Now pick and roll.
Corzine. Sellers, good outside touch. The problem with Sellers is he won't give you that inside game, and his playing time has diminished lately, not so much in the scheme of things for the Bulls.
Well, they have to play him at that small forward position.
Edwards over Corzine. James Edwards, he has that shot down, and it's 25-19 Bulls with under 2 minutes remaining in the first period. Corzine, turnaround, and the veteran Dave Corzine, who, by the way, now is wearing a contact lens in his left eye. He went to the doctor, had an eye problem, and Doug Collins didn't even know about it. He read about it in the press notes before a game. Dantley draws the foul, as he always does inside.
Dantley's the master. Now watch, here we have Michael Jordan coming down in here. Now this is what we call a stack situation. See how he held on to his man and popped out? That way he forces the defensive player to follow him, and he can always catch the pass on the initial move.
Corzine commits the foul. And by the way, they changed an earlier foul that was given to Bill Laimbeer and gave it to Dantley instead. So Laimbeer and Dantley each have one personal. The Bulls are still not in the penalty as Dantley hits the first free throw. Chuck Daly called him the ultimate pro when we talked to him yesterday. The way he's handled the trade rumors to the Dallas Mavericks, a trade that, by the way, seems dead right now. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Aguirre for Dantley would have been a spectacular one, but they fooled on it.
Well, Adrian is very comfortable here in Detroit. He likes his ball club. He thinks he has a shot at winning the championship, and no player likes to keep reading his name in trade papers.
Jordan with a turnaround, especially a guy like Dantley who has moved around a bit.
See, I would expect Michael Jordan to continue to post up because he has a great height advantage either on Williams or Vinnie Johnson.
Vinnie Johnson, basket counts and a foul. He has averaged 20 points or more in 5 of the last 6 games, so he enjoys the added scoring time and playing time. Foul on Jordan.
See, right at the bottom of the screen here, you have Vinnie Johnson going out of bounds, coming off a staggered screen. Now it's 2 picks back to back. Now Vinnie knows that he must tire Michael Jordan out. He knows he's going to give a big energy at the offensive end of the floor, so they're going to run him off picks continually at the defensive end.
Chicago's biggest lead was 9. It's 5 right now with a minute to go in the first period. Clearing out Jordan. Goes for a 3-point attempt. Rodman the rebound. It is Detroit ball with under a minute to go. The Pistons, by the way, at 29-13, have the second best record in the NBA next to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So the best 2 teams record the Central Division. Vinnie Johnson. Microwave is simmering, Mr. Brown.
Microwave, named by Danny Ainge.
Right. Coming back. Hodges was short with it. Rodman the rebound. Detroit with a chance to cut it to 3 or 1.
Bad shot selection that time.
Good feed. Corzine to Grant. And a foul. That's the second one, or maybe the third, that Grant has not connected with inside.
Well, with the double teaming of Michael Jordan, and once he rotates the pass, Chicago's doing an excellent job cutting players from the other side of the floor to the front of the basket. But when you do that, when you make that catch, you must dunk the ball.
How tough is it to play a team twice in the same week? Doug Collins was talking about having to play a team Tuesday, or Chuck Daly and Doug about a few days later facing him again.
Well, both guys realize that it's like a playoff time. The team almost can tunnel vision in on you. All of the calls are very familiar, and you know the routes. And that's a primary of importance when you have two excellent defensive teams like we have here today.
Michael Williams, short, put in by Vinnie Johnson, who has 9 points at the buzzer. Detroit hanging on the tail of the Chicago Bulls, 31-28 after one period of play.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Basketball Association is sponsored by the Heartbeat of America, Today Chevrolet. Anderson Windows, come home to quality. Come home to Anderson. And by American Airlines, something special in the air.
Palace of Auburn Hills, 21,000 plus. They've only played to sellouts here, where Chicago leads Detroit 31-28. Both teams shooting well. Turnovers almost even. Hodges with 7 leads Chicago, and Vinnie Johnson, who scored the basket at the buzzer, has 9 points. Isaiah Thomas, what about the maturity of this guy? He's the heart of the team. We know he's not afraid to take the critical basket, but he seems to be getting to the point where he wants to ring.
Yeah, he's very concerned about team play and everybody being coachable. He realizes that's how it's going to get it done. They must improve on the little points. Right now we're seeing a 1-3-1 half-court trap for the first time in Chicago.
Grant ties up Vinnie Johnson.
Well, it's very aggressive because you have Michael Jordan on the top, and then you are trapping him with Grant. Very difficult to pass out of.
Grant with a big height advantage on the tap, and the Bulls have the ball. 8 different Bulls scored in the first period, and 7 for Detroit, so it was a well-balanced scoring period. Dennis Rodman on the push picks up his first foul.
The aggressiveness of the players trying to receive the pass at each end of the floor, it's just terrific. We're getting playoff intensity on the denial.
Michael Jordan, pretty Fallaway in the air at the baseline. Jordan right now has 6 points, hit 3 of 4 field goals. Hubie said he's going to get his 20-some odd no matter what. Williams behind to Rodman. Look at that balance in the air by Rodman. Terrific.
What a great catch by Dennis. Excellent penetration by Williams. A tough pass.
Jordan posting up against Vinnie Johnson. Doubled with Williams. 3-point attempt by Hodges hits. That's the perfect way to beat the double.
Every time you post up Jordan today, he has so many inches over Vinnie Johnson. They must run right at him.
And Hodges, of course, as he was with Milwaukee, a little bit with Phoenix, the best 3-point shooter on this team.
Sellers doing a nice job fronting Dantley down inside. He just lost contact.
8 on the shot clock. Michael Williams way off the mark, an air ball. Rodman, though, saves it.
24-second clock.
24-second clock.
See, now watch this catch as the pass is made. It's almost a desperation pass because Rodman was flying to make a penetrating move that time.
Chuck Daly said, talking about the Central Division, he said it used to be the Milwaukee Bucks and everybody else, and now the balance is tremendous, and you won't get a more competitive division in the league.
He credited all to the defensive end. We realize that 4 of the 5 top teams in the league defensively are in this division.
Rodman follows up and scores. Dennis Rodman, and you know that the Pistons game always goes up a notch or 2 when Rodman's in the lineup. 36-32 Chicago on the turnover. Pistons can cut it to within 2. Vinnie Johnson does it. 11 for VJ.
See, what I like about what Vinnie Johnson is doing, he's taking the offensive game right at Jordan, and it's all coming off the dribble.
Jordan comes right back at you, says Michael Jordan. And it's a 38-34 game. A little more than 2 minutes elapsed in the second period. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown, Pistons and Bulls. Grueling Central Division matchup today on CBS. Low to Edwards. Uncontested. James Edwards.
Chicago's interior defense, Dick, is getting very soft right now.
Corzine has to man the place, and of course Cartwright has had a long rest on the bench. Sellers with another outside shot. And every time Detroit comes within 2, Chicago gets the basket to raise it again. Michael Williams seeing a lot of action and so far playing well defensively. Dantley goes right around Brad Sellers. Just like he went around A.C. Green early in the playoffs in the finals last year.
That was beautiful. Went right behind his back, changed direction, and then came with the left hand.
Jordan lost control of it.
Illegal defense.
Williams on the foul.
Watch Adrian take him into the middle now. See, he's been going to the middle all day. There's your wraparound. Absolutely beautiful execution.
You know, he does want to stay in Detroit. He's coming off his best game of the year, 33.
The Palace at Auburn Hills, and it is quite a different scene from where we used to play basketball here in the Detroit area. This is one of the 180 suites here at the Palace. One of the features here, you can call and dial up a pizza here. On the telephone, you got a full bar. Over here, they have hot dogs and sandwiches and all kinds of things. Ready to show them this. Look at this layout. This is a basketball game in Detroit, folks. And you come out here, and if you got 40 or 50 of your favorite friends, you can watch the game from seats right here, right at the 50-yard line. The pizza is here. Dick and Hubie, I'll be down later with the bill. For you LA fans, they have mineral water. Let's go back to you guys.
How do you like yours, with pepperoni and mushrooms?
we did that round on Friday.
So you don't want the pizza today, right? Is that what you mean?
This is just a magnificent structure. They have 3 levels. It looks like it's about every 15 or 17 rows. You have the boxes circular around this arena. I think the income derived from this is something like $11 million a year. Staggering.
The word state of the art something has become a cliche, but if there's a thing that fits state of the art, this would be it. Nearly 8.5 to go in the first half. 40-38 Chicago. Knocked away. Jordan did not get a good pass, and here's Vinnie Johnson shooting over Corzine. Vinnie Johnson, 13 points, and a tie score. So Detroit has come back from a 9-point deficit to tie it up here in the second period. Jordan hits. Jordan has taken only 4 of the 23 shots of the Chicago Bulls, but you know when they get closer into this game, it's going to be more even.
Well, like Doug has said in the past, let's have distribution of the basketball for 3 quarters, then they let him go in that last quarter.
Edwards, now there's Jordan ahead of the field with Vinnie Johnson. Great play by Isaiah Thomas, and even though it's still Chicago ball, he might have prevented a big dunk by Michael. John Sally comes back in along with Sam Vincent.
Now we have Michael Jordan coming off this pick right here. He reads it perfectly. Vinny just got picked off by Corzine down in that low area. If you're going to follow Michael, you have to try to hold on to that shirt or keep the forearm on him as much as possible.
A lot of changes in the game, and we'll bring him up to date here. Cartwright has come in for Chicago.
Got him.
Rebound by Rodman. Pistons have Laimbeer in there, so the starting centers are back in the lineup. Isaiah Thomas scoops it. Rodman the rebound. Best offensive rebounder per minute in the NBA is Dennis Rodman, and he shows why.
It's nice to see Rodman going right back up strong, Dick. For a while there in the early part of the year, he'd rebound and take the ball back out.
Because he's not a confident free throw shooter and not effective. Chuck Daly says I'd rather he go to the line even if he misses.
Oh, he has such quick jumping ability. If he just go up and either dunk or make a strong move, he'd be there all night.
Laimbeer. Rebound by Grant. So it's Grant, Cartwright, and Sellers up front for Chicago. Sam Vincent and Michael Jordan for the Bulls, who turn it over. The Pistons have Thomas and Vinnie Johnson with Rodman, Sally, and Laimbeer. They're starting five. Timeout here in Auburn Hills. Bulls are trying not to be a one-man gang with Jordan, so they're trying to get the ball inside to their center, Bill Cartwright. Hubie Brown talks about the difficult aspect of getting the ball into the postman.
One thing to watch in today's game is feeding the post, the lost art. Try not to pass the ball as the player is jockeying for position. Once he gets a wide base and calls, then you deliver the pass. The second thing that we are trying to avoid is that if the postman catches the basketball below the box, if he turns, he's behind the backboard. And we have seen that today, Dick. On 2 occasions, Laimbeer bumped Cartwright early in the first quarter down below the box area, and when he did turn, he was behind the backboard. What usually happens then, the shot is taken and hits the front of the rim.
You worked with Cartwright before at some point in your career?
A little bit. He kind of makes you look good, though.
Rodman from Isaiah Thomas to Dennis Rodman, really getting into the act, has 8 points here in the second period, 7 rebounds, and 3 of them off the offensive glass, already off to a good start. Grant guarded by Sally. Detroit with its first lead since the opening basket of the game, 44-42, and on another turnover. That's the Piston defense again for you.
See, there's too much dribbling where players are going nowhere. They got out to the early lead by getting the ball down inside and forcing Detroit to double team them.
Thomas try to draw the foul. Vincent. Now Jordan. Finds Grant. That's what they want. Out of bounds, still Chicago ball.
That's the third beautiful pass by Michael Jordan to a player. This Chuck Daly and his staff, where he is double teamed and he finds the free guy, but no cigar at the end.
Jordan is short with it, and there's got to be frustration for Michael Jordan, who so badly wants his team to get up to the next level. Dennis Rodman is fouled at the other end, and the Pistons are starting to assert themselves.
Well, just think about it. The field goal shooting percentage for the Chicago Bulls lately has been nothing but long jump shots, long rebounds, or turnovers, and they're out in the open floor pressing you and giving you a lot of problems.
And 5:40 left in the half. Detroit leads the Bulls 44-42. And coming up on the Prudential at the half, as we always do, we'll bring you up on the very latest in sports news. I spoke to Michael Jordan. We'll find out why he withdrew from the All-Star Slam Dunk Contest. At the half, rode into Phoenix this week, and for good reason. The suns are shining brightly there again, and you think you know the starters for Chicago? Want to bet? All that and much more coming up at a familiar place, the Prudential at the half. See you then.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. The Pistons, with the second best record in the league, have done it in the last 11 games without Joe Dumars, their third leading scorer, and maybe one of the best all-round guards in the league. He's having his best year. He has the broken hand, and he thinks he could come back as early as this Wednesday.
Well, he told us before the game that he would like to get in action before the All-Star game so that once you have the break, he can practice hard, and he knows that he can make a heavy contribution.
Biggest cheer I've heard today was the cheer for Dennis Rodman hitting the free throw. He makes 2 for 2. Here's a guy who's shooting 56% from the line, and this crowd has seen it all.
Here's a 2-2-1 three-quarter court trap. First time today for Detroit.
Pippen beats it. That's the way to beat it.
You always try to get the ball into the middle of the floor. The zone traps can't handle it once you penetrate the top of the circle area.
5:20 remaining. We're in the first half here at Palace of Auburn Hills. Wide open is Bill Laimbeer, and he buries it. And the Detroit Pistons now leading 48-44. They trailed virtually the entire way in this first quarter, and then in the second period have moved in front. Grant. And they'll call a loose ball foul against Chicago. And it'll be against Bill Cartwright, his first. Doug Collins.
Doug wanted a foul that time. He thought that Cartwright has been hit on his last 2 releases. No call.
Chicago struggled after being red hot early from the field. Isolating Sally against Cartwright. 5 on the shot clock. A 3-point attempt by Laimbeer doesn't go. Jordan clears. Jordan leading the Bulls in virtually everything and one of the top defensive players in the league. Grant blocked by Johnson. Pippen under the basket, blocked by Laimbeer, and it's still Chicago ball. Great interior defense by Detroit.
See, there's an awful lot of frustration going on here with the guys in the red shirts from Chicago. They are receiving fantastic passes down inside, but they just can't seem to convert.
Shoving with Sally and a foul away from the ball.
Arlstrom had that one all the way. Double forearm to the chest. 2-shot foul. If the ball is out of bounds and the ball is not thrown inbounds, it should be a 2-shot. Doug Collins is saying that the ball was not inbounded. 2-shot foul.
That's exactly it. 2-shot foul. Rick Mahorn, who has been bothered by a back problem. He had surgery during the offseason. And a key to the inner defense for the Pistons, although they're doing pretty well inside today, and an enforcer replaces John Sally.
Different type of player now. Mahorn is a low post player. Sally is basically face the basket penetrator. But then, as far as a defensive rebounder into the scheme of things for Detroit, you just can't measure how much Mahorn is worth.
Corzine for Grant, and of course, as you pointed out at the top, so many ways the Pistons can beat you. They have so many different dimensions, a running dimension, and now they have Mahorn, a power guy.
Well, in 5 players up front, totally interchangeable. All of them give them something different.
48-46 Pistons. Mahorn in the low post, knocked away, and Scottie Pippen.
No carry, he allowed the ball. I'll call that.
He did.
Yeah, he said that he cradled it on the way. Scottie Pippen is saying that he allowed it to hit his chest and come down to the floor.
Like those soccer players do.
There you go. That's right. Absolutely.
Give him a break, right? Vinnie Johnson off the screen. Michael Jordan fouls him. Basket count. Second on Jordan. Vinnie Johnson having a tremendous game. Going for his 16th point.
Here comes Vinnie off of that screen. See, he gave a little fake. What Jordan tried to do that time was fake at the shot and then take off on the fast break, but he caught his hip.
5-point Piston lead. 14-point turnover since the first half. Jordan can't connect inside. Outlet by Rodman.
See, the inability of Chicago on the offensive board. No second shot stick.
Thomas. From the baseline, Isaiah Thomas. Pistons looking for their 4th in a row against the Bulls this year, and a 20-second timeout called by Doug Collins. Well, the New York Knicks, who beat Indiana last night, lead the Atlantic Division with a 30-16 record, and they have most of games at home the rest of the way. They'll have 2 All-Stars in Houston next week. Patrick Ewing and point guard Mark Jackson. First time since 1980 that the Knicks have had 2 men going to the All-Star game.
Well, both players are at the top of their game. Ewing is right up there as far as getting the 20-plus points per game. The shot blocking is there. There is no better player at home in Madison Square Garden off the dribble, creating and giving off assists than Mark Jackson. Knickerbockers at home, 19-1.
Wow. Only the Lakers beat him. Michael Jordan has 14 points. 10 of them here in the second period. And as the game goes on, as UB mentioned, he'll become more of the offense shooting-wise.
That was an excellent timeout by Doug Collins. They had to regroup. And how did we get here? We got here by going down inside and strung to the basket.
Winding down to 3 minutes to go in the half. Thomas. Isaiah Thomas with 8 now.
You have to love it. You have to love it, Dick. They're making all the perimeter shots.
Except if you live in Chicago and you hate it. But there's a long way to go. Pippen throws it away. Jordan went to the hoop.
Give Dennis Rodman the credit that time. Excellent defense by overplaying. Now, his man did exactly what you should do. When you're overplayed, go back door. Unfortunately, Pippen already made the pass.
Cartwright picking up Thomas, double team. They look inside Mahorn. Over Cartwright. Air ball. Here's Pippen. 7-point lead for Detroit. Matches their biggest of the game. And now it's cut to 5. Vincent.
Vincent's having a nice game today, Dick. He's pushing the ball, trying to make easy things happen for them at the offensive end.
But near steal by Jordan, and Rodman rushed the basket. The shot up, I should say. Johnson blocked by Vincent from behind.
2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Here you see the denial by Rodman that time. See, Michael goes back door. Now watch, here it is. Nice move. He would have had him, but the pass was made too early.
The Pest.
Rodman 6'9" with long arms.
Under 2 minutes to go. Laimbeer, rebound Cartwright. That's not quite a pick and roll play. It's Detroit ball. What do they call it here in Detroit? It's not really a pick and roll.
Now with Laimbeer involved, it's a pick and a spot up. Laimbeer will just drift to a free area. When they run it with Edwards, it's a pick and roll.
Vinnie Johnson misses Corzine, and a chance to cut it now to 3 for Chicago.
Here's your double team.
Pippen is open, and he stepped on the line. He looked to get into three-point territory, and they didn't move the ball quick enough to the dismay of Doug Collins.
Well, the Chicago staff very frustrated because of the silly turnovers that are happening. Guy steps out of bounds, 2 bad passes behind the cutters. You know, these are things that have to be avoided because you know this is a half-court execution type of a game.
7 on the shot clock. Vinnie Johnson. Are you surprised that Chicago, with all of their turnovers, not going inside or within 5 points right now?
I am, except if you look at the last 2 years, all of the games played, very few times will a team score over 100 points in this series. Now, in the last 8 times that they have played, Chicago has only scored 90 points per game and has only hit 100 once, and they did it here and won the game.
Well, they're at 50 right now with 1:10 to go. Michael Williams comes back, giving Isaiah Thomas a breather. Also in the game, Horace Grant for Chicago, and James Edwards checked in for Detroit.
See, the bench players that Vinnie Johnson, even though he's scoring today, Sally, Rodman, Edwards, Michael Williams, the problem has been is that they've been very poor foul shooters during the course of the year, and they all are in the 60s and in the 50s, but they're making them today.
Grant to Corzine, knocked away, steal, credit Rodfield that time. They're making them, and Rodman is 2 for 2. 40 seconds remaining in the first half, 15 on the shot clock.
They want to go down inside to James Edwards. That's their first look right now.
Pistons trying to establish their biggest lead of the game. Corzine got a hand on it, and it is still Detroit ball. 5 seconds to try a shot.
You see the post pass into Corzine. Now here comes Rodman behind. There it is right there. The strip.
5 seconds to try a shot. Craig Hodges quickly comes in. They need his defense in there. Doug Collins says we'll need Hodges and Paxson. We haven't seen John yet for defensive purposes.
Well, with 5 seconds on the shot clock, on all the picks, you try to switch to keep the people perimeter.
Edwards. Biggest lead of the game for Detroit, 59 to 50.
Kind of negates all of that switching and good defensive positioning.
Well, Chuck Daly said, you know, like Cleveland has 5 good shooters in their starting lineup, covers a multitude of sins, and he's right. Jordan, wide open, Corzine. Johnson should not count, and it does not. It shouldn't, and it doesn't. And that is the end of the first half with the score. The Pistons 59 and the Bulls 50. Pat O'Brien will return with the Prudential at the half after this message.
CBS Sports presents the Prudential at the half. Sponsored by the companies of the Prudential, Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
Well, the assembly lines are working in Detroit, and the Pistons are working as well. 59-50, leading the Chicago Bulls at the half. And hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Once again, welcome to the Prudential at the half. Attention, slam dunk contestants. You might have a chance this year. At the half has learned that a contestant by the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan has withdrawn from the competition. Jordan's decision makes a lot of sense. He simply doesn't want to aggravate an already aggravated left knee. We spoke to Michael this morning.
Well, it was more or less a doctor's decision. I've been having problems after every game with my knees, where my left knee that I injured about 2.5 weeks ago, and it was giving me problems. And he advised me that because of the pounding that I probably will take in the dunking contest, I should pass. They really wanted me not to participate in the slam dunk, and I look forward to playing the All-Star game.
Again, the two-time slam dunk champion will play in Sunday's All-Star game, and he'll give that, as always, 100%. Our coverage of the 39th annual NBA All-Star game begins at 2:45 with our preview show. Let's take a look at one other NBA game underway right now. At the half, Cleveland leads Charlotte 54-43. Ron Harper in that contest has 13 points there at the half. Turning to college basketball in Lexington, the University of Kentucky Board of Trustees is still meeting to finalize the university's response to the NCAA's 18 allegation about the men's basketball program there. Among the charges, that $1,000 in cash was sent to the father of then Kentucky recruit Chris Mills, and the academic fraud involving basketball player Eric Manuel's ACT test scores. Now, according to the Lexington Herald-Ledger, the university will accept responsibility for at least those two violations. Earlier today here on CBS, Georgetown and Villanova met in a Big East shootout. When the smoke cleared, Georgetown came out on top. Jaren Jackson had 27 points. The Hoyas are hot. They are 7-1 in the Big East. In the first round Davis Cup action today, Michael Chang of the United States defeated Hugo Chapacu from Paraguay 5-7, 6-0, 6-1. Andre Agassi of the USA is now playing Francisco Gonzalez. Agassi leads in the second set. Score's really meaningless, though, because yesterday the United States clinched a victory over Paraguay in this first-round competition, avenging a tough loss. Remember that one last year against the South Americans? That was 2 years ago. The U.S. now goes on to play France. Well, right after the NBA on CBS, we're going to send you out to California for the Nissan LA Open. And for a report on what's been going on, here's my colleague, Pat Summerall.
The Nissan Los Angeles Open at Pacific Palisades, California. And the third round has now been completed, and we've got our first good day of the tournament. The leader, Sandy Lyle, for birdie at the 17th. That puts him 11 under. But Mark Calcavecchia had an answer at 18. His third shot. So the third round ends this way. The final round just moments before starting. Sandy Lyle at -11. Calcavecchia 2 behind, and Couples, Irwin, and Steve Pate. Now let's go back to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Pat, thank you. That's golf right after basketball here on CBS. When we come back, the cowboy hats are off in Phoenix. Hats off to Phoenix as At the Half rolls on in a gallop after a commercial and a word from your local station. And we're back inside the Palace in Auburn Hills, Michigan, but right now we're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns. Last year, the Phoenix Suns finished with 28 wins total. This year, halfway through the season, they've already got 27 wins, a complete turnaround. In fact, they fixed this faster than Iacocca fixed Chrysler.
Won't start until it's touched. They'll have to throw it up. Garhoud, turnaround, shot in the air. It's good!
The shot heard round the world in a 3-overtime thriller. The 1976 NBA Finals, Boston won that year, and in the years that followed, Phoenix remained a perennial playoff team. But not long ago, the sun not only set, it vanished. The cheering had stopped. A plane crash took the life of Nick Vanos, their promising young center, and the tragedies didn't end there.
3 players for the Phoenix Suns professional basketball team were indicted today, drug charges.
A drug scandal took the once proud franchise into the courts and into the headlines for all the wrong reasons. How bad was it here during the cloud over the Phoenix Suns?
About as bad as you could imagine, Pat. It was like a black cloud hanging over our heads.
And until some changes could be made, there was no way this franchise was going to survive.
If this were one of those old westerns, the kind you see either in the middle of the day or the middle of the night, when things got bad, what they did is call out the cavalry. Well, out here in the West, that's pretty darn close to what the Phoenix Suns had to do. The cavalry began with Cotton. The return of Fitzsimmons started the turnaround. In came Armand Gilliam, the second pick of the '87 draft. Eddie Johnson rode into town as sixth man. They sent Larry Nance up north to Cleveland, but in came Kevin Johnson, who sometimes shoots with both hands. And finally, they signed Tom Chambers, their free agent big gun. Want to talk house cleaning? From 3 years ago, only one player, Jeff Hornacek, and trainer Joe Prosky are still in town.
What we attempted to do was cut the cord with the past in every way, shape, and form.
And before you can say beat L.A., the Suns are chasing the Lakers.
The Phoenix Suns are legitimate. They have developed the confidence, and they have also developed an attitude that they're going to win.
Everybody's talking about us now, and we come out every night and we're expected to win instead of expected to lose. And that gives you a great feeling.
The guys are young, they're enthusiastic. Everybody here wants a taste of winning. They'll do anything it takes, and none of them ever quit.
And when the Suns ride out of town these days, there's usually another notch on the gun.
Gilliam with the rebound. Off to Kevin Johnson. Long bounce pass for Chambers. Suns win it. Suns win the ball game.
You know, about now, the whole country would like to be in Phoenix to escape the Alaskan blast that is blanketing our country. In Chicago right now, the wind chill is 16 below zero. You know, when I lived in Chicago, one of the things I hated was getting into a cold car. Of course, when I lived there, I wasn't a Chicago Bull. While the Bulls are winding things down inside the stadium, outside their other starters are just starting.
Night like 10 degrees, you can come outside, your car's already warmed up, ready to go. It makes an easy trip home.
These guys really do the job. These guys are the behind-the-scenes heroes.
You always have to move their seats, most of them. It's really easy. The players, they know. And then after we start and pull them up, we move the seat back. It's all taken care of for them.
Come out sometimes sweaty and, you know, hot and cold. Makes a big difference for them being out here to come in a warm car.
Oh, don't pull up and hey, these are the best guys in the world.
See you guys next game.
Let's all make a mental note. Do not ride in an automobile with Bill Cartwright. A couple of guys who have their cars started, but for security reasons, are coming about ready to go back to work. Dick and Hubie for the second half. I'm Pat O'Brien. Thank you for joining us on the Prudential at the Half. Enjoy the second half here on CBS.
Has been sponsored by the companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your rock. CBS Sports coverage of the National Basketball Association is sponsored by Minute Maid Orange Soft Drink, the orange of the NBA. Nike, who reminds you to just do it. And by Dodge Cars and Trucks, on the street or off the road. It's the new spirit of Dodge.
Well, it's a 59-50 game. Detroit leads, and this game is going to be decided by defense. And so far, Detroit's defense has been superior to Chicago, particularly their inner defense, and that has not been satisfactory to Doug Collins, the Chicago Bulls coach. And Hubie Brown talked to him a moment ago, and he expressed his disappointment.
A little disappointed.
Well, you know, this is the kind of team that when you rebound the ball, they come after you. They're going to come scratching and clawing and try to kick the ball loose. And we made some mistakes where we put the ball down, and they stripped us. And we've got to clear the board, and if we do, we'll be able to run our transition.
Good luck, sir.
Thanks, Hubie.
All right, so what does Chicago do other than ask Michael Jordan to score 70 points today?
Well, you have to take care of the basketball, Dick. They have 12 turnovers right now. They're shooting well. They're shooting over 53%, but you can't turn the ball over 12 times in a game like this on the road. And then, when you're underneath the basket, take 4 great passes from Michael Jordan and not convert. Right now, you have Grant 2 for 9, Cartwright 1 for 4. These are 2 pivotal players for them from an offensive standpoint.
Again, Cartwright only 4 shots and has not gone to the free throw line, so or has gone twice. So that's really under what you want from the center position. Chicago has outshot Detroit 54-51. So the Bulls are shooting well, as Hubie mentioned, but the turnovers 12-2 in points off of turnovers, and that may be the key of this game. Start of the second half, Adrian Dantley. And Jordan gets the rebound. Dantley scored 6 in the first half. Jordan going to work. Cartwright with a putback.
Cartwright freed up that time, Dick, because his man went over for the double team. Bill went right to the front of the rim.
Bulls had scored just 3 baskets in the last 8 minutes of the period. Laimbeer looking inside. Thomas. Vincent really knocked it away for a steal. 4 on the shot clock. Double team on Isaiah. Laimbeer for 3. And now a long rebound. But look how Detroit battled. And it's going to be Detroit's ball, but they stopped the long rebound and the possible break. There is the shooting percentage. Both teams over 50%. The turnovers, as Hubie mentioned, has really hurt Chicago badly. Dantley all the way. The leading scorers, Vinnie Johnson with 18 and Jordan with 14 are the top point men. And a 9-point lead. Jordan off the screen. They double him immediately. Sam Vincent has missed just 1 shot today. He is 5 for 6 from the field.
All of the Chicago guards are shooting a high percentage today, getting excellent input.
Looking for Sally, posting up against Grant. Again, Laimbeer. That's his shot. Looks outside. Rarely do you see Laimbeer inside. And the lead now, 9. Matches the biggest lead the Pistons had toward the end of the first half. Cartwright has it back. And Cartwright with that spinning one-hander falling away.
Well, Detroit couldn't play that any better. Isaiah Thomas did an excellent job at faking the double team, and then he finally made the move. Tough fall-away jump shot.
Dantley inside. Adrian Dantley with 10 points.
You got to watch out there. You can't allow him to get going here, and he's got 2 quick field goals.
Pippen opening the corner for a 3. Laimbeer the rebound. Detroit can open up their biggest lead of the game. Vinnie Johnson gets the foul and will have that opportunity.
Well, Doug is uptight, and he has a right to be, because in the transition defense, as Detroit is pushing the ball down the floor, as Sellers comes in the ball game now, Pippen has lost Dantley on a number of occasions, and we've only played 2.5 minutes. So Doug is making a quick move here by bringing in Sellers. He wants to talk to Pippen down there. But the coverage in transition has been very poor.
There's the leading scorer of the game. Vinnie Johnson, who has 20 points, so now make it 6 of the last 7 games. Vinnie Johnson, normally coming off the bench, has scored 20 or more points. Pippen with 2 fouls on the bench. Jordan off a Grant screen. Look how Detroit, though, quickly catches up and fights through the screens. Jordan throws it away. Bulls have to settle down if they want to hang in this third quarter. I see a little more frustration in Michael Jordan this year than in any other season. I know he wants more help on his team. Dantley fouled, going to the hoop, and the foul will be on Vincent.
That's Adrian Dantley at his best. He has incredible patience when he catches the ball, and watch the fake. Now watch his eyes go. There's another fake, and he gets a 7-foot player to come up in the air, and then it's all over. Because once he gets down inside, he has that uncanny ability to take the physical punishment and still end the play with a good shot.
How do you speculate if McGuire and Dantley, and the word again is that the trade is dead between Dallas and Detroit, how do you think that would have worked out for both teams?
Well, I think the easiest way to look at it is this. Detroit is looking at it because it's a younger player, if the trade was made, 4 years younger. And the other people are looking for, at the other end of the ship, might have been looking for more harmony within their total ball club. But if the deal is what they read in the papers today, Dantley and a first for a Blyer, that's never going to go down.
No, 1-for-1, maybe Detroit, but other than that, I don't think they were interested. And a timeout called by Chicago, and we'll be back. You know, it wasn't that long ago that the Detroit Pistons were basically known as an offensive team. They would outscore you. Look what's happened the last 5 years and how the offense has slowly come down, and basically this has turned into a defensive-minded team. They gave up 114 points 5 years ago, and now one of the best in the league at 101 right now.
Yeah, but see, when you look at that, they became a much better defensive team under Chuck Daly. And when you are a better defensive team, there are not as many shots taken at both ends of the floor. That's number one. Chuck said here earlier in the year they were only averaging 81 shots a game. Plus, you cannot lose Dumars and Mahorn for as long as they have lost them and expect your scoring to be up.
Under 9 minutes to go in the third period. Vincent looking for Cartwright. Laimbeer playing him straight up, and Cartwright not consistent with the jumper. He's had some opportunities. Steal by Grant, and a bad pass by the Pistons. One of the few bad ones they've thrown.
Great play by Michael Jordan that time. I like the job that Laimbeer is doing on Cartwright. He's muscling him, pushing him out, and he is not allowing him to get into the low post game.
Dantley. 13 for Adrian Dantley. 7 here in the third period.
He's got the feel right now, and he's saying, he's looking at Sellers and he's saying to him, where am I going? Off the dribble, or we're going to take the jumper.
That was off Cartwright's hands. Another turnover. That's killed Chicago in this one thus far. Dantley deciding what to do against Sellers. Goes inside. No foul. And we're going to have a jump ball. Nope, a loose ball foul instead.
No, he caught his own ball. He shot the ball and caught his own shot. Here's Michael Jordan on a spectacular save underneath. Right to Grant, coming down for the dunk.
Caught his own pass, is the correct ball. So it's Chicago ball, trailing 70 to 58. Thomas nearly picked Vincent's pocket. Jordan, open man is Vincent. He's been hot today and remains so. 10-point lead for the Pistons.
Michael Jordan has made some sensational passes today, finding 3 people for easy shots.
Grant all the way tight to meet Sally, who's not an outside shooting threat. Dantley given room by Sellers that time. Risky. Cartwright cleared.
I don't understand. Sellers is 7 foot and he keeps his arms at the side. If he put his arms up, he would really bother Dantley.
I mean, you're talking Dantley 6'3" or 6'4" against a 7-footer, and another turnover by Chicago. They are a lackadaisical team for the most part today.
Frustrating day for Doug Collins. Feeding the post, very careless with the basketball today. And when that happens, there's nothing you can do. It's the guys on the floor.
Cleveland leading Charlotte on their way to their 34th win in 44 starts. You saw the score. Vinnie Johnson, when the runner, has 22 in the game. 12-point Detroit lead with 6:40 remaining in the third period. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown here at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Sellers with another outside shot. Bulls have already turned the ball over more times today than they have for a game during the season. 16.
Well, they're usually one of the better teams in the league in protecting the basketball. That's why it's so out of character and so frustrating.
Jordan with the rebound on Laimbeer's miss. The lead is 10 for the Pistons. Jordan trying to work Chicago back in the game. No movement by the Bulls other than Jordan right here. Hits the shot. The other 4 stood around. Maybe they expected the shot.
Well, it's interesting how sometimes Detroit double teams Michael. Sometimes they play him one-on-one and they channel him either to his right or to his left. He never gets the same look on either side of the floor.
Illegal defense called against. Oh, that's the first one of the game. Next time will be a technical.
Number 5, John Paxson.
John Paxson making his first appearance of the game. Vincent leaves for the Bulls. Vincent has scored 12 points, a hot shooter. Now Paxson, very steady player. Quick double team on Dantley.
Plenty of time, 12 seconds.
Given the outside shot, Dantley makes good. 15 for Dantley. He can really mull those decisions over, can he, outside? And the lead is 10. Michael Jordan. Knocked away by Sally. Jordan gets it back. And a foot block and a new 24-second clock. I don't know what Michael Jordan's going to end up with today, Hubie, but whatever it is, he is laboring to get the offense going, either his or the rest of the team.
Well, sometimes they double team him as soon as he catches the ball. Sometimes they wait until he puts it down on the floor.
He hits just inside the three-point line. He has 18 points and has hit 8 of his 12 shots. So he's shooting well. But it's been a struggle for Chicago all the way around.
Isaiah posting up Paxson.
Got it down to 6. The double team. Laimbeer. 7 on the shot clock. Paxson holds Isaiah Thomas, who gets hit in the head. Isaiah seems to be all right. We're at the Palace of Auburn Hills, Michigan. 21,000 plus, where the Pistons have sold out all 21 home games this year. Detroit leading 74 to 66. Their biggest lead was 12. Chicago has come back somewhat with 4:40 to go in the third.
Another clear out.
Laimbeer hitting from outside. The last foul was on Paxson, his first. Detroit has not picked up a team foul this quarter. Jordan with a good first step, but it's just not going there. He's hit the outside shots, misses the layup. Thomas, Laimbeer, foul, Chicago.
See, I like everything that Detroit is doing right now. If they don't have a good scoring opportunity, they back the ball back out and then they start again. They're trying to fast break on every miss or a steal or a turnover by Chicago, but they're having the patience. If the pass isn't there, they are not trying to thread the needle. At the other end of the floor, Chicago is flustered, and they're trying to force too many things, and they're not making the sure pass. There's Cartwright going out right now. We have Dave Corzine back in the ball game at the center position.
Laimbeer on the line.
Yeah, I hear Laimbeer's golf game went from, what is he?
Terrible. One handicap to a 3.
A 1 to a 3.
Terrible. He needs some lessons. You better get out on the course and take some lessons.
And then management's upset because his free throw shooting is in the high 80s now rather than the 90s, right?
He's got 12 points. 78 to 66, the Pistons lead. Corzine posting up. Sellers open for the outside shot. Chicago trying to get back in the game with outside shooting. That's not the way to do it. Rodman slithers in for the basket. And the biggest lead of the game established by the Pistons, a 14-point Bulls. Timeout.
Well, Rodman is definitely one of the best guys we have in this league in filling that left lane. And you know that once he goes off the dribble, he's attacking the basket.
Showtime at the Astrodome. The All-Star Game next Sunday.
Well, Sports Saturday continues next week when the world's best skaters compete in Lake Placid for the world title. And also a 12-round super welterweight championship bout live from Grenoble, France, with Donald Jacot defending his title. That's Sports Saturday next weekend on CBS Sports. They're having a party on this Sunday here in Auburn Hills, where the Pistons are 17-4 at home. There's Big D, Double D, Darryl Dawkins, who may soon be playing ball in the Canary Islands of all places, Hubie.
Well, one of the Division I teams in Spain from the Canary Islands, has made a very solid offer, and he's contemplating it, hoping that he might get a 3- or 4-year contract, play himself into shape, and then even maybe be ready for the expansion draft.
Corzine with a turnaround hook. Rebound Rodman, and the foul is on Grant, and that'll be number 4 on Horace Grant. Sandy Lyle continues to lead the Los Angeles Open. Final round coming up following our game today. Scottie Pippen will come in replacing Grant. Pippen has scored only 4 points today, averaging nearly 13, and Grant in foul trouble with 4. Here's Rodman on the line. He made both of his free throws in the first half. Crowd can't believe it.
He's on a roll. He's doing it all with that.
This could be the start of a long string.
Oh, it's interesting. Chuck Daly and Doug Collins both think that Dennis Rodman might be the #1, the premier defensive player in this league.
Trap, Pistons. Good time for them to trap. Pippen inside the line, misses outside. Edwards the rebound. Here's Vinnie Johnson, reverse layup. Loose ball into the hands of Thomas. Vinnie Johnson goes for his own rebound, and a loose ball foul called against Johnson.
Give the Pistons their due. They've been really doing an excellent job. They get every loose ball that's on the floor. The balls that are up in the air coming off either board. Collins is very excited right now. Look, we got a battle going on at both ends of the floor. Chuck Daly is really upset. He didn't think that Vinnie Johnson came over the back on that loose ball.
But other than that, he has very little to complain about this afternoon, the way the Pistons are playing at both ends. John Paxson, 82-68. We have 2:39 remaining in the third period. Pistons have won 7 of their last 9 games and are riding a 3-game winning streak. One of those coming against the Bulls in Chicago last week. Dantley in a crowd. Jordan all over Thomas. Oh. Got the shot off at the buzzer. That's kind of a sky hook. You got to learn that from Kareem. Paxson, Rodman on him. Corzine setting a pick.
Zone call that time on Isaiah. Isaiah raised his hand. You're not allowed to double team a player without the basketball down in that low post area.
Unless he's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, right. You need a net.
Cleveland leading Charlotte. You'll be 82-61. The Cavaliers continue to play great ball, and the Central Division, the best division. Cartwright spending a lot of time on the fines now. That's a technical foul against Detroit. Second time they were called for an illegal defense.
But when you're a good defensive team, you'll take those because you're hustling. The team, you can sense it. They're going to double team everything. They're going to gamble. They're going to force the issue, and they're not going to let you beat them off the dribble. Think how many times today that Chicago's been down inside off the dribble.
Under 2 minutes to go, and the Pistons get their hands on the ball. Agassi beats Gonzalez. The USA completes a 5-0 sweep in their Davis Cup match. 82-69.
There's your trap, forcing Jordan to get rid of the ball.
And Pippen from the corner hits. Chicago scored 31 points in the first period, had 19, and now 21. They're trying to make a rally here. They've scored 5 in a row. Still down by 11.
Well, when James Edwards comes in the game, they go to him right away to get him started.
Double team. 4 on the shot clock, and they'll call the foul against Adrian Dantley.
Well, that time, Michael Jordan fronted Adrian Dantley, and Adrian Dantley, this was really some battle. Look at these two guys going in your screen. Michael Jordan trying to front him and hold on. Dantley going to strip him away.
Well, a chance to cut it under 10. That's what you always want to do if you've been way back going into the fourth period. And that's what the Bulls can do here.
Quick double team.
Corzine Missed an open shot with a minute to go. Could have made it a 9-point game, and now Detroit back. Putting pressure again on Chicago's defense.
High pick and roll.
With Edwards. Then they go to Vinnie Johnson. 24 points for Vinnie Johnson. And that matches his season's high. And the lead is 13.
Their perimeter shooting today has been as good as anything this year for them.
Paxson comes back with a 3-point shot with 36 seconds to go.
They're still in excellent shape here. They're only down 10 points. But they need a good stand defensively right now.
And they've got, you said, they've got to protect the ball against that Detroit defense. 12 on the shot clock. The difference around 10 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. 4. Isaiah Thomas with a runner. He gets his own rebound with 12, and they can play for the last attempt. Corzine and Edwards shoving a little bit inside. 3 seconds to go. Edwards blocked by Jordan from behind, and this shot, no. But the Bulls defended, and they'll take a 10-point deficit. And that's the end of the third period with the score. The Pistons 84 and the Bulls 74 will return to the Palace of Auburn Hills after this message and a word from your local station. All right, after 3 periods of play, this is the way this game looks. Detroit has outscored Chicago by 9 off of turnovers, and they're leading by 10, so that gives you a pretty good idea of what has been the big difference in the game. Michael Jordan has 19 points to lead Chicago, and Vinnie Johnson, red hot, 24 points to lead Detroit. But the Bulls cut the deficit from 16 to 10 in the third period, and they say that this is Michael's quarter, the fourth, so we'll see how it develops.
Right now, they're going down inside. They were looking for him to post them that time.
He's lurking now, and now moving into the middle as Corzine goes strong to the hoop and draws the foul.
That was a nice read by Corzine that time. He saw that he had the alley, and he just put the ball down on the floor. He's not going at any great rate of speed, but he had the defensive man on his shoulder.
Foul was on Edwards, his first, and here's Corzine.
For many years, Dave was a major cog here, time-wise, but he's only getting 16 minutes a game this year, and naturally the production is down because of that.
He was the starting center. He misses both free throws. Paxson saves it nicely. They said Chicago needed an inside scoring threat, so they got Cartwright from the Knicks. Jordan hits his first shot to start the fourth period, and now it's an 8-point affair.
Doug Collins up cheering his ball club on, but they must get tougher defensively. They've just been too soft today.
Bulls, meanwhile, are on a 10-2 run, but if they do anything, it'll be off the defense, and they're called for their first illegal defense of the game. And it's the second, excuse me. It'll be a technical foul, and Dantley will shoot.
Well, Michael Jordan that time was trying to help out. He didn't think that Paxson had his man, so he was going to come over and pick up Isaiah Thomas that time.
At the conclusion of the game, Hubie and I will select the Miller Lite Player of the Game, and in conjunction with the award, Light Beer will present a check in the amount of $1,000 in the player's name to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund. 85-76, Detroit ball. Vinnie Johnson is 24, Dantley 16, Rodman 14, Laimbeer 12. Isaiah has 8 points today.
Another clear out.
Technical foul called against Chuck Daly.
You know, it's always a stunner when you get a tee. Now, Chuck right now is, you know, he's really befuddled because anytime you get it, you don't like to get it, you know, when you've got the basketball going on the floor.
I guess not.
Yeah. And, oh, my. Get a little break that time. Michael Jordan at the foul line shooting 84% from the air.
Now, if you're Michael Jordan, are you going to say, hey, enough of this? I'm going to maybe take over this game now. I mean, you know, he was frustrated coming in because of the way he's played against Detroit, the way they've defensed him. Vinnie Johnson having a blast with 26.
See, their main double team guy is Michael Jordan. Vinnie Johnson is making him pay the price by hitting all of these open shots when Michael leaves him.
Paxson breaks the double team and hits the open shot. 9-point affair. Opening minutes here of the fourth period. And a Chicago foul will be their first team foul of this fourth period. Scottie Pippen picks up his third.
Adrian Dantley working so hard in the post-up area. Uses his arms, his lower body. He bumps, he grinds, he lets you play. Then he'll use the forearms out here to get the pass.
He's played much better as of late. So maybe some of the best trades are the ones you don't make. 14 on the shot clock. Thomas doing a lot of other things than scoring today, feeding off nicely. The good players will do that. If their eye, they don't have the shooting eye, they'll make up for it. Pippen beats the crowd. Now it's interesting.
Beautiful pass by Michael Jordan. You know, he doesn't push hard on the fast break. He kind of lopes and then sizes up the floor.
87 to 80. They're going to bring Sally and Laimbeer back in for Detroit. Dantley gets control in a crowd, draws the foul. Bulls don't know where the foul came from, but AD will go to the line. Here are the two big men coming in for the Pistons. We started this broadcast talking about the tough Central Division. Realized for Detroit that they are only a half a game ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks, so they need the victory today to stay ahead of Milwaukee in second place. Cleveland, Detroit, and Milwaukee are the only teams in the NBA who have winning records on the road. More evidence as to why the Central Division is the toughest in the league.
Well, Milwaukee, 18 out of their last 22 games with wins. And we say this almost every Sunday. You know, they've done it the last two without Del Harris. Del Harris has injured his lower back, has missed the 2 road wins this week. Met Mike Dunleavy here today, one of their assistant coaches, but the team is playing great basketball.
Dantley with the free throw. Sellers picked up his second foul. Dantley has scored 14 of his 18 points in the second half. 2 minutes gone by, final period. Scottie Pippen with a 3-point basket from the side. It's an 89-83 game. Now Chicago hanging in there nicely, quieting the crowd here at the Palace.
It's getting increasingly more difficult to set a pick on somebody today. Guys are running right through the picks.
Dantley tipped up and in by Dennis Rodman.
Guess who?
Right? That's what we should say. He was the hero in overtime for the Pistons in Chicago after Jordan had fouled out. Rodman took over the game, it seemed. That was last Tuesday. Stepping on the line, a turnover, Chicago ball.
Second time today that Scottie Pippen has received the pass from Michael Jordan and stepped out of bounds.
Back inside the Palace at courtside, this time with Neil Diamond, who played the Palace last night. You probably know these arenas as well as a basketball player.
Well, you know, I feel like I do. It's something that I have in common with these people. But this building, in particular, the Palace, is made for great sound, which is very rare. So we had a good 4 nights here, and this is our day off. We're coming and watching this team's work.
You're a basketball fan. I see at the Laker games every now and then in L.A. I see you all over.
I love basketball. My son, Micah, whose 11th birthday is coming up, loves basketball. By the way, happy birthday, Micah. My wife told me not to come home without an autograph from Isaiah Thomas. I got it. I can come home. I'm a happy guy.
I think you'll get one. Kentucky Woman remains in my top 10 forever, by the way. Go back to you guys.
All right, Pat, I'm dying to know what the other 9 are. 91 to 83. Sally, Rodman, Laimbeer up front. Thomas and Vinnie Johnson. Johnson off the screen. Laimbeer. Chicago has been shooting well the entire game, but 65% in the second half. Really going wild.
Here's your quick trap on Jordan. Get him to give the ball up and then let the clock run down.
Jordan. And they'll call a Detroit foul on Vinnie Johnson. That will be the second team foul on Detroit. Chicago also with 2 in this final quarter. Chuck Daly already with a technical foul. Got to within 1 game of winning it all last year against the Lakers. Sellers.
Rush that one.
Loose ball. Pippen saves it. That was Jordan, though, that allowed the Bulls to keep the ball. Paxson hits a 3, and this one tightens up some more. 93 to 86.
From here to the end, if they can get anything at all in the three-point game from Paxson and Hodges, it will really, really take the pressure off of all of the double teams of Jordan.
Paxson has hit all 4 shots. 2 of them have been for threes. Isaiah Thomas loses the ball to Jordan. 3 on 2. Pippen. Eddie Johnson wrapped around Michael. They isolate him one-on-one, and Jordan. Rebound, Laimbeer. Had a chance to cut it to 5. And a foul.
Paxson was hand-checking Isaiah as he was moving along. Isaiah was going to turn the corner and beat him that time.
Doug Collins.
He's very encouraged, Dick. He's within striking distance right now. You're only 7 down. You got over 7.5 minutes to play.
Thomas off the glass. Not shooting well today. Rodman puts it back up. And Sally the rebound, and he's held. Chicago just did not become aggressive at all for that rebound.
Well, you had 2 rebounds. Your center goes up, Corzine. He misses the one. The next one comes off. You have 2 guys who have a chance at it in Sellers and Scottie Pippen. And what happens? They end up with it. But, you know, they changed the call.
Sally. They gave the foul to Sally.
That's right. Detroit really shocked over that call.
Yeah, the call, man. And the foul called against Chicago. They go right back with it. It's Brad Sellers setting a moving pick.
You know, that's tough. That's tough because it was down off on the baseline area. Here's the ball that goes up. Now watch what happens here as Sellers in your right-hand corner right there. See, he's held right there. Both guys were holding on, so you could have called it either way. But the initial look, it was against Chicago. That's the way it looked initially.
Grant replaces Sellers in the lineup for the Bulls. 7:15 remaining, 4th period. Corzine out to meet Laimbeer. Posting up. Dantley, and this ball is thrown away. You know, Pippen is going to develop, I think, as a good defensive player, the way he is so active.
Well, he's active. He has long arms. He has quick feet. So he can do this. He should be able to give Dantley more problems than he does down inside because of the size factor.
Chance again for the Bulls to cut it to 5. Jordan in traffic.
Plenty of time.
Goes for 3 and hits a big 3-point basket for Michael Jordan, and it's a 4-point game.
He said he didn't need much time. He knocked that one down as soon as it hit his hands.
Timeout Detroit, and a good timeout called by Chuck Daly as Chicago has forged to within 4 points of the Detroit Pistons.
We're in the final round of the Nissan Los Angeles Open. Weather has been dreadful up until today, but today cool side but not bad. Sandy Lyle at -12 leads Mark Calcavecchia, who is 10 under par as the final round progresses. Now let's go back to Dick Stockton.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. Hubie, what are the 2 things that have helped bring Chicago back here?
Well, the defense on Adrian Dantley here. We've just played 5.5 minutes. Detroit has only scored 5 points. Watch how hard Pippen is working to front him. At the other end of the floor, we have Paxson, who has made 2 threes, and now they get the 3rd 3 of the quarter from Michael Jordan.
So their last 3 field goals have been 3-pointers. There's the numbers. And the Bulls are closer to the Detroit Pistons than they've been since the 3-minute mark in the first half. 93-89, 6:39 to go in the 4th period. Adrian Dantley in there with Rodman and Laimbeer and Sally and Thomas. So Rodman is playing a backcourt position. He's in there now as a guard. Thomas. Every time they needed the big basket, Laimbeer, Thomas, they've gotten it.
And their perimeter shooting has just been outstanding.
So Rodman is guarding Michael Jordan now.
Well, this comes off the matchup of Tuesday night, Dick.
Jordan finds Grant. No basket traveling. Called against Grant.
Now, you know why that's frustrated? Think about it. That's the 5th pass that Michael Jordan has made to somebody in the painted area. Doug Collins is so upset because they should have 5 dunks, and they are 0 for 5.
Some of them started within the first couple of minutes of this game. Under 6 minutes to go in this fourth period, 95-89. Detroit, Dantley. Pippen won't leave his feet. Good defense by Scotty.
Beautiful, hands up.
Sally is held. No basket if it goes, and that'll be the 4th team foul against Chicago. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown here at the Palace of Auburn Hills, Michigan, where the Detroit Pistons, who trailed throughout the first quarter, have held the lead most of the game, leading 95-89 with 5:48 to go. Jordan with 24 leads Chicago. Vinnie Johnson, the high man, with 26 for Detroit. Laimbeer. Again, the perimeter shot, Hubie.
Yeah, but you see, Dantley's the one that keeps setting that up. His ability to get to the middle of the floor. Corzine had to go back to try to help out that time. Laimbeer opens up.
And by the way, Grant is playing with 5 personal fouls. Michael Jordan is fouled going to the hoop and will shoot a pair. That is the 4th team foul. We'll check it on Detroit. 4 team fouls against Detroit, 4 with Chicago, and Bill Laimbeer picks up his 3rd.
Well, Laimbeer is pleading with Earl Strom that he didn't get him that time. Michael elevated. He was really up over the top of the rim that time when he laid it up off the glass.
He had over 1 million votes, the top all-star vote getter. And he'll be in action next Sunday on CBS, 2:45 Eastern for the All-Star game. Always one of the great attractions leading up to the playoffs. 6-point lead for the Pistons.
Going to bring Dantley into the low post area on the ball side of the floor.
Jordan is moving him away, knocked away by Jordan. And they'll call Michael for the foul, and that'll be a shooting foul. There is a penalty.
See, on Tuesday night, Jordan went over and switched on Dantley in the last quarter in the game in Chicago. And Michael Jordan fouled 3 quick fouls, and all 3 of them were almost identical to that. Reaching from behind, trying to make the steal.
He's got 3 right now. We haven't seen many smiles on Michael Jordan's face today. This has been a tough afternoon, even though if you look at the box score, he has 26 points.
Now, Adrian Dantley is now 7 for 8 from the foul line. When he shoots 8 foul shots or more,
don't lose much, do they?
Only 14 and 2 on the season.
It's pretty good. Going for his 20th point of the game is Dantley. That's off a 33-point effort Friday night against Philadelphia. Missed the free throw. 98-91. Chicago down by 7. Short for Paxson. Again, they rush the shot. No passing. 1 man down. Put it up.
Well, the defense channeled him to an area down behind the backboard. Tough shot that time.
Under 5 minutes to play.
Pick and spot up now with Laimbeer.
Thomas. Corzine clears, and here's Jordan open court.
Here's your double team.
Can't get around it because Rodman and Sally won't let him.
See, they're so quick to double team and then get back to their own men.
And as you said, they do it differently each time.
Every time. They give it to you and then they take it off.
Jordan misses a long-range shot. Dantley the rebound. So the Bulls used a lot of time and came up with nothing. Double on Dantley. And the basket counts and a foul, Isaiah Thomas.
Watch how he converts nothing into something big.
Crowd on its feet. It's a 100-91 game. The Pistons continue to make life miserable for one Michael Jordan.
Well, this is the perfect example of how tough it is to score. Watch the shot clock. Here's the double team, Rodman and Sally, 6'9" and 7 foot. Now you'll see they'll take the ball out and they'll rotate up to the other side of the floor. But keep your eyes on that shot clock. See, with no low post player, no back to the basket threat, that's what you end up with.
Averaging nearly 35 a game. Michael Jordan has 26 in this game. Only twice this year has he been held under 30% shooting in a game, both by the Detroit Pistons, the last 2 times these teams have played.
Well, you know, with the injury to Dumars, Isaiah Thomas is playing 42 minutes a night and really sparking them.
10-point lead again for Detroit. The Bulls headed down to 4. Pippen misses a 3, and of course, you live by it, you can die by those attempts as well. Question will always be, is it too early to start going for those 3-point shots, or is that part of the flow?
Philosophy and whether you think the guys can make them or not. That's how they're going with it. Look at this guy. This guy's murder.
Jordan knocks the ball out of Dantley's hand. Terrific defensive play by Michael. 10-point game. Bulls have not had a basket in the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Plenty of time on the clock. Grant in trouble.
Plenty of time.
Throw it away. Forward. Here's Thomas. That was the 20th turnover by the Chicago Bulls. And they'll look at that statistic purely as the reason why they might not have won this game today.
So uncharacteristic. Team only averages 15 a game.
Corzine with 2:43 to go. 10-point game. 103 to 93.
The Pistons are smart, Dick. They're going to run the clock. They're going to run it down, get into their quick-hitting game.
Dantley has it slapped away by Jordan, out of bounds. Detroit's ball. Jordan has made 1 steal and nearly another one. And now there are 5 seconds for the Pistons to try a shot. Cleveland over Charlotte, 110 to 91. The Cavaliers remain on top. Well, when it's going good, it's going good. And John Sally hits from outside his first basket. Getting down to the 2-minute mark. The lead is 12. Laimbeer fell down, and Grant missed the layup. He must have missed 5 or 6 inside shots today.
They're the gimmies in the game. And when you get the gimmies, you must put them away. And they're highly emphasized when you're on the road.
Thomas goes by Corzine and lays it in. 107-93, timeout Chicago. So the Detroit Pistons will remain 3.5 behind Cleveland and stay a half a game ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty nice job. And that had to take a lot of time, and here we are in real life. Yubi, I want to ask you about the Detroit Pistons, who seem to be getting their game into gear. If they hold on, they're win 8 out of 10. How close are they now to where they were when they made their playoff run last season?
The defense is there. That's the anchor of this ball club. You talk to Isaiah, you talk to the players, you talk to Chuck Daly. They know it's there. They'll get another shot in the arm when Dumars comes back next Wednesday, because Joe was on his way to an all-star season as a guard. Then we have Mahorn coming back and giving him that other shot in the arm. And I think Chuck Daly made a very interesting statement. He said that when both guys went down, he almost had to learn to re-coach this basketball team because of losing 2 quality players.
Interesting. That was Paxson, and of course he had to play Vinnie Johnson and Thomas a lot more minutes. You mentioned the 42 minutes by Isaiah Thomas. Here's the trap by Chicago.
Chicago in the 1-3-1 trap with Grant in the back. Excellent anticipation that time by Paxson, except he just could not hold on to the ball on the steal that time.
Final round coverage of the Los Angeles Open coming up next. Dantley foul will go to the line again, so he'll be in double figures at the free throw line. And when you talk about how the Pistons are playing well defensively, playoff style, I think his resurgence offensively has been a big part on the other side.
Well, he's going to the basket with more frequency now, and anytime he does that, the percentages are staggering. 14-2, we said. He shoots over 8, and that will be 15-2 after today. Now, in this league, the top 3 teams in holding teams under 100 points. We have Utah first, Then we have Cleveland, second, and then we have the Detroit Pistons. This will be the 21st game that they've held their opponents under 100 points.
Well, you know, after Utah, the next 4 best defensive teams as far as points allowed are from the Central Division.
Now, you know, Chicago's got a minute 16 seconds, but, you know, they're going to be right around that number.
109.95. They may get over 100, but the point is that Detroit really clamped down when they had to. There's the drought for the Chicago Bulls, and you remember when we started the 4th period, and it was an 84-74 game, we said this is Michael Jordan's quarter. The 4th quarter normally is, we'll see what develops. What has developed is that Jordan has been held to 5 points, QB. Plus, he missed a technical foul on the free throw line. So, you know, Jordan is a truly great player, one of the greatest in the game, a great star. We'll see him in the All-Star game. However, the frustration in not seeing the inside baskets, easy shots, have to be taking its toll.
Well, the wearing down with Rodman and Sally running and double teaming him. You're talking about 2 extremely quick athletes at 6'9" and 7 foot.
And Vinnie Johnson early in the game.
Well, Vinnie put the pressure on him because Vinnie was having such a great night offensively that Michael had to stay with Vinnie. And any time that he would leave the double team, because he's their premier double team guy, almost like a designated linebacker, Vinnie Johnson would open up and boom, it would be down with a perimeter shot.
Don't forget, 2:45 Eastern next Sunday, the NBA All-Star game from the Astrodome in Houston. That's the 3rd 3-point basket of the game by John Paxson. And he is the 2nd leading scorer today for Chicago after Jordan's 26. Paxson with 15. The traffic in with 1 minute remaining. 109.98. Steal by Pippen, knocks it to Paxson, who gets the easy 2. I tell you, Chicago is forcing turnovers down the stretch.
Well, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah.
You know, they just cannot overcome the rash of carelessness turnovers on silly passing, and then the fact that they did not convert all those great passes in the lane that should have been at least 10 points.
Now with a foul and Sally going to the line on Pippen's foul, now it comes into play the remark you made before, and that is that some of the guys off the bench are not shooting that well at the line. Sally at 68%. If there were a little more time, have a chance to get back in it by fouling the right people. There's the Chicago Bulls, who will go to 25-19 if they don't make a miraculous comeback here with less than a minute to play. 1 out of 2 for Sally.
Well, over the last 2 seasons, if Detroit holds on here, it will be 12 wins to 3.
Pippen. Rebound Jordan. He's fouled. And, of course, the playoffs. You know, Doug Collins told us yesterday, he says, I think we really put the Pistons on their way. We gave them a big lift when we beat them at the Silverdome last year, and then Detroit went from there and beat Chicago. Then, of course, the win over Boston, and then 7 games against the Lakers.
Well, you know what it did? It seemed to awaken Detroit and force them into outstanding defense and then good transition play in converting.
34 seconds remaining in this one. And they'll have full court now.
Can't let a player go long on you now. Smart move that time. Laimbeer calls a timeout. And when Detroit comes out of this huddle, they will have the option to either take it on the baseline or move the ball a half court.
Sunday's a big day. The NBA All-Star Game will be held in the Mammoth Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Dominique Wilkins, Charles Barkley, Moses Malone, Michael Jordan, and Isaiah Thomas will start. The rest of the team, Kevin McHale, Larry Nance, Terry Cummings, Brad Daugherty, Patrick Ewing. And in the backcourt, Mark Price and Mark Jackson. The Western starters, Karl Malone, Alex English, Shaquem Olajuwon of the hometown Houstons, Magic Johnson and Dale Ellis, James Worthy of the Lakers, and Tom Chambers, Duckworth and Eaton, Drexler, Stockton, and Mullen. 2:45 Eastern. You'll see the stars glitter next Sunday I know you're looking forward to your first All-Star game behind the mic.
Well, it's going to be nice to be up close and personal and see the talents. Everybody not worrying about structure of offense or defense, the creativity, allowing them to expand their talents and then taking it to their utmost. You know, very, very pretty.
It's unusual for a coach to do that. You think you ever said, look, just be creative and take it to the next level when you coach the Knicks or the Hawks? Okay, you don't have to.
They don't. Well, the players aren't really worrying at whether they get a W or an L that day. You know, that has a little something to do with it.
Although I will say, you know, when you get to the fourth quarter of that game, all of a sudden the smiles and all the ease and go away, and they want to, I guess they want to win since they've been competitors since they've been kids. Vinnie Johnson has 27 points today. We're looking forward to it. Hope you join us next Sunday. 111 to 102, half a minute remaining. Bulls will drop to 9 and 13 away from home. Paxson, who has 3 3-pointers, couldn't connect there, and a loose ball foul.
Michael Jordan bumped Isaiah that time. Isaiah Zeke was really up there. He was at rim level that time going for that rebound.
Scottie Pippen has fouled out of the game. That's his 6th, and he leaves with 11 points and 6 rebounds. But generally around the court played a pretty active game. Jack Haley. Michael Jordan will take the rest of the afternoon. Short though it may be. And he leaves with 28. There's Jack Haley from UCLA, who's an actor who's appeared in commercials, and I guess we didn't have to say that once you take a look at him.
He's had an outstanding career in the commercial department. He's kept his career going, and it's nice to see him, you know, catch on with Chicago this year, because he thinks that he really has something to offer. He's very confident about his abilities. He just feels that he needs a chance. There's a little playing time.
Well, Purdue has not played much. Their top draft pick out of Vanderbilt. Haley is in the game. Craig Hodges rims a 3. Here's Haley. 9 seconds to go. Rodman with the rebound will run out the clock. And the Pistons win it. So the Cavaliers and the Pistons still remain the best 2 teams in the NBA record-wise, as Detroit beat Chicago for the 4th straight time this year, 113 to 102. Right now, for an update on the Los Angeles Open, let's send it out quickly to Pat Summerall. Pat?